Hey guys, welcome back to another product review. Today I've got something from Toolworks. This is a lock that goes on your either clutch or brake lever. So we're going to take a look at it. Now, full disclosure, this was provided free of charge for review, but is otherwise not sponsored in any way. Here's what you get in the package. Now, there are no instructions, so you just have to figure it out yourself, but it's pretty self-explanatory. It is a standard cylinder lock and mechanism. The rubber pieces here are simply spacers. You have some that go in this small channel, and that's to fill up any gap for very small levers, such as on scooters or mopeds. And then these larger ones here go in the larger section if you have really small grips, again for mopeds or scooters. This is a protective sleeve that you can also slide over your lever just for added protection. And then the unit itself, it is aluminum. Fairly chunky. It has a pretty good heft to it. Quality of the construction is excellent. You have a spring-loaded capture mechanism. The mechanism also is spring-loaded at the hinge, so it will stay open. You don't have to worry about it flopping around and hitting your bike or your paint. You can remove the key with it out, and all it does is move this center pin down, locking it into that channel so that when it's closed, it just can't pivot up. Now, no lock is secure. Absolutely every security measure has ways to defeat it. We'll be taking a look at this to see how it compares to other things. Commonly would be cable locks. A lot of people will simply cable their bike through a wheel to a post or something like that. You also have disc locks where you basically have a piece of metal going through your brake rotor. And that's going to be pretty similar to this idea, just something in place where the bike is not usable with it engaged. Now, the construction is beefy. The billet aluminum is very thick and heavy. Its Achilles heel would obviously be right here at the thin point. And if anyone knows aluminum, I mean, it doesn't take more than maybe 10-15 seconds with a good cutoff wheel to buzz right through that. That's maybe, half an inch at most of aluminum. And then this would just obviously fall apart at that end. But no different than a cable lock with a pair of bolt cutters. You know, those are coming off. It doesn't matter. No lock is going to keep your bike secure. It simply deters the amateur thieves and keeps honest people honest, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and put it on a couple bikes here and see how it looks. So at a minimum, if I were using this, I would be carrying this around, at least one of the keys, and the protective sheath. I have large standard motorcycle levers and I don't need any adapters. You simply open up the unit, and the idea is it captures your lever down near the grip. So if you're, say, putting it on a clutch, you can't let the clutch out. I don't actually recommend putting it on your clutch because unless you're on flat, level ground, this is very dangerous. Anyone that has a motorcycle knows you park it in first gear, second at the most, so you're not rolling around. If this clutch is pulled in and you park it on any kind of slope, especially down, your bike's going to fall over. Pure and simple. It's just like being in neutral. So this only works if you're on flat, level ground. If you can use your center stand, that would help if you have a center stand. So they also advertise that you can use this on your brake lever. But here's the big problem with that. If you've come off a hard ride and you're doing heavy braking, the last thing you want to do is cinch your brakes down because that will lead to warped rotors. Same thing with a car. If you come off a hard drive and you're in an automatic car and you're sitting at a light for 5 minutes with your brakes on, you're going to have warped rotors. You just don't do that. So if you do want to use it on your brake, make sure you let your brakes cool off for 10 or 15 minutes before applying this to the brake. I'm going to show you here on the clutch side just because it's a lot easier for the camera. It's an absolutely identical process. So the first thing I'm going to do is slide the protective sleeve over. That just stays on there. I'm going to carefully place it near the end of the lever and then pinch it down on my grip and lock it in place. And we're done. And it is actually very secure. Obviously the grip is rubber. There's no contact that's going to do any kind of damage. It's limited by the lever itself for rotation, and you've got this ball end preventing it from sliding off anywhere. And that brings me to the very easy way to defeat it. You simply take some bolt cutters and you snip off this ball and it slides right out. And let me show you the other problem. And that's if you're using aftermarket levers without the OEM style ball on the end. These are nothing unusual. A lot of sport bike riders are going to use something like this. Unfortunately, you don't even need bolt cutters. It slides right off. Now, of course, you can put in the rubber spacers, but those are not going to actually secure it. It's just going to give it a little more snug of a feel. They will pull right out. So you have to have OEM style ball end levers to use this. And just be aware that if you use it on your brake, you have to let them cool off. If you're going to use it on the clutch, make sure you're absolutely on flat level ground. Thoughts on the product? Excellent design, excellent construction, materials are top-notch. Love the lock. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Application? Well, like I said, every lock has pros and cons. Maybe a disc lock isn't for you, maybe a cable lock isn't convenient for where you park, and this might be a great alternative to, like I said, deter the casual thief or to keep an honest person honest. Easily stows in a backpack, certainly the same weight as any other type of lock out there. If you're looking for a grip type lock, I actually recommend it. Now I'm going to give away 2 of these to subscribers. You just have to be subscribed to the channel and comment below here on this video with why you would like one of these. And I'll be sending out 2 of them with an announcement video in a week. Good luck!